Hi everyone and welcome back to the free-to-play realm. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I was able to ascend to G7 Op 71 on the day of release. I did not buy any pack, I did it completely free, and it was pretty complex, but I will be sharing with you exactly how I did it. So in this video I'm going to be covering all the steps that you need to take one by one without missing any components so you can achieve G7 Ascension. So a little bit of background on my account. I was in Op 70 for about 2 months before G7 was released. And during that time I was focusing on preparing for G7. So I was collecting as many Sigma speedups as I could. I was also upgrading as many buildings as I could to level 70 in preparation for G7 release. So I have most of the prerequisites ready to go. But I also don't recommend for you to focus on every single building because a lot of them are not needed to get to 71. So in the prerequisites, the main things that you need is Shipyard to be 70, R&D to be 70, and the Academy to be 70. And then when all of these three are ready to go, then your ops can be pushed from 70 to 71. So in order to ascend, you're going to need to be doing a series of missions. The missions, it's called the margins. You have part 1 all the way to part 5. There are different things that you need to do. Some of them, a lot of them are requiring you just fly to different checkpoints. But there are some things that you're going to need to achieve, and I'm going to be covering them. So the first challenge you're going to be facing is G7 mission bosses. So those are not easy. They're about 3.5 trillion in power at least. And you need to have a very effective crew in order to defeat them. So just so you understand, my ship was, I had an Enterprise E tier 6 and a Cube tier 16 when I entered the Ascension process. Now, my tier 6 Enterprise E wasn't enough in power and health, so what I had to do is actually tier it up to tier 7. I did have enough gas and ship parts to do that, so I tiered it up immediately to tier 7, and then I used the crew that I'm going to show you right now. So my strategy was basically to sustain as many rounds as I can, and using Giorgio and Tal combination. Because Tal, what he does, he reduces the target's hull health by 5% every round if the target is burning. So Giorgio is throwing the burning on the target. Tal is reducing the hull health. I use Gowron because it's an Enterprise E, so I want as much mitigation as I can. And under deck, I use Pelia and Joaquim for ISO defense. So together, they provide you up to 600%. And then I used Picard Hugh for self-healing and Odo for additional crit damage. Now you might ask, wait a minute, JB, I mean, Tal, he only works on level 60 and below hostiles, so why are you using him here? Because this is like a G7, you know, up 70 and up boss. Well, here's the thing. If you don't know, mission hostiles, mission bosses, are coded in a different way than a regular hostile. So technically, they are level 1 hostile, even though they're really massive in power. So Tal's ability actually works on that. Now, this is assuming that you have Tal. Some players don't have Tal because Tal was not available in general. You can't obtain him for free unless you were here somewhere in early 2024 for a limited time between arcs. They had the between arcs battle passes. For those 2 battle passes, they were providing these shards for him so you can unlock him for free. I believe that every player should have him, especially now because a lot of people have him. And if people weren't here around 2024, they joined the game recently, I believe they should have him as well. So assuming you have the crew that I mentioned, and there are probably other effective crews there, and some people have a much higher tiered ship than mine was, the tier 7, then you have other options out there. But if you have this crew, you actually don't need to buff to kill the boss. You can do it completely unbuffed. No Cerritos buff, no Titan A, no nothing. No Exos, not even Lorca's Fist. Just go in there, smash the boss, and you're done. So on the mission margin 1, you're going to be killing a couple bosses, and you're going to fly to different locations in the galaxy. Margin part 2, you're going to be doing the same exact thing. Margin part 3, you will kill a boss, fly to some locations, and then you need to kill 10 level 70 hostiles. So once you get to that phase of killing 10 level 70 hostiles, if you read that very carefully, it doesn't really say which hostiles you need to kill. It doesn't say FKR, it doesn't say which system. Doesn't say new ones or old ones. So you can go back to G6 space and find any easy level 70 hostiles that you want to kill them, and you're done with that mission. Then once you're done with that, you're going to move to Margin Part 4. Margin Part 4 is very similar. Fly to a few locations, to a few checkpoints, kill another boss with that crew that I told you, and then you need to donate, I think, like 5,000 Sigma dilithium, so I hope you have it. And then when you finish with Margin Part 4, you're going to be moving to Margin Part 5. That one is going to be difficult. The good news is, once you're done with this one, you're ready to ascend to 71. So phase 1, you're going to fly to a certain system. Phase 2, you're going to have to kill a boss with a mission boss crew that I told you. And phase 3 of that, will be killing 10 level 71 new FKR hostiles. Now, those hostiles are nasty. They hit very hard. You need very special crew, something that we haven't used before. And I figured it out live with my community. All of us were trying to try different things. So the way that I completed it at the time, I had a very good friend of mine, Spock, on my server, that he softened the target for me.
You son of a...
So if you have a friend that can and has the ability to do that, what he did was he attacked the hostile, brought down the health of the hostile from about 8 trillion to around 500 billion. And then I came in there with my ship and I was attacking it maybe 5, 6, 7 times until I killed it. And I had a disco there so I can summon myself and keep doing it again and again and again, because I had to kill it before it despawns. Because sometimes when they reach a spawning point, the injured hostile can despawn. So I had to kill it before it does that. And I had to do it 10 times in a row. So the fact that Spock and I were able to pull off that stunt successfully proved something that a wise man once said: the best ship is friendship. So you may not have a friend like that. And also, when you move to 71, you will need to figure out a way to kill those 71 hostiles by yourself if you want to start completing dailies. So shortly after I ascended, after all the adrenaline was wearing off, I had to figure out a way on how to kill these 71 FKR hostiles myself, because I do want to advance. I do want to start collecting the rewards of the daily events and the daily goals. So I had the drawing board and I had to figure out a way of how I'm going to do this. I consulted with a lot of my people on my Discord. We have about 500 people there and we're sharing screenshots and ideas. Did a lot of testing, burned 100 halls at least, and finally found a crew that is able to defeat them. I can kill an FKR, 71 FKR hostile by myself without even buffing my ship. So before I cover the crew, I want to tell you what setup you need to have. I did upgrade my Enterprise E to tier 9. The reason I was able to do it is once you break that wall and you move to Op 71, your entire income increases. You start collecting G7 and you're getting a lot more G6 materials from your loyalty chests and from everything else. So I was gaining a lot of G6 rares and uncommon materials, and I was able to upgrade my Enterprise E all the way to tier 9 with a few modules. Now also, let's talk fleet commanders. So I only have 4 seats. As a free-to-play, I only have 4 seats for fleet commanders. So I had to choose them very carefully. I chose Lorca, Sloan, Kirk, and FC Con. So once you have them all seated, I also want you to focus on looking for everything that is hostile related. Anything that is Apex Shred for FC Con. Lorca has additional damage against hostiles. Look for any ability that is either you need to upgrade it or you need to select it that is going to give you a bonus towards the hostiles. And also, let's not forget the techs. You have the Chaos tech and the Forbidden tech. So my Forbidden tech is Agony Booth, max level, and my Chaos tech is the Godsend, max level. Okay, let's talk about the crew. So this is a Leslie-based crew. This crew is going to allow you to kill a 71 FKR hostile by yourself, but you're also going to die in the process. You're going to get the kill, but your ship is going to blow up, because Leslie's ability is going to be healing up your health once you get below 35%, and he's going to do it continuously. But eventually, at the end of the battle, that bonus goes away, and then your ship is going to die. So the key here is survivability. You want your ship to survive as many rounds as possible, and then throw burning on the hostile. So you want to burn the hostile to death. So you want it to just go for as many rounds below 100. It takes me about 85 rounds or so to kill it. So Leslie's taking the captain seat. You want to have Seska on the side, one of the bridge slots, because she's going to restore your shield health. That's going to help your survivability. You want Suitor on the other side, because he's going to be repairing your hull health. So under deck, I use Pick Hugh because I want additional hull restoration. I also use Kim because I'm running an Enterprise E, so morale helps me deal a lot more damage. I use Neelix, he's the key here. He's the burning, because we want to burn the hostile to death. And I also use Joaquim. Now, as far as the tiers of these officers, so my Seska is tier 3. I would like to get her to tier 4, but it's going to take me some time. Leslie, it really doesn't matter what tier you have him. Even tier 1 is enough, because you really just want him for his captain ability. The below deck ability is like, you know, XP related. It's not even necessary. Suitor, you definitely want to get him to tier 5. And you have multiple ways that you can obtain him. So my Pick Hugh is tier 4, almost tier 5, but right now he's tier 4 and he's working just fine. I have Kim tier 5, Neelix tier 5, and Joaquim, I just recently also got him to tier 5 using engaging in the augment loop. So if you have this setup or even something better, then you'll be able to kill 71 FKR hostiles by yourself. That can help you ascend if you need to do it on your own if you don't have a friend, and also it will help you complete the daily goals, which I can now complete by myself because I'm using this method. Now, I do want to emphasize there are several good crews out there that are running around that people are able to use to kill 71s. But their situation is different than mine. They have a higher tiered ship, they have higher tiered officers. So my method is not the only method, but it's very effective if you're limited like my account is. But the main point I wanted to clarify is this. If you want to ascend to G7, you can ascend to G7. You don't need to buy anything, so don't listen to anybody that tells you that you must purchase in order to ascend there and even survive there. And also, I want to thank every single one of you for supporting my channel, for watching my videos, for joining my live streams. I'm happy to help you. If you have any question of any kind, hit me up. I'm always available on Discord or in the comments here below. Thank you very much. Please share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.